Yes people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So Manchester United have been beaten 6-3 by Manchester City. Yes, 6-3 by Manchester City. Now it could have been a lot worse. It was 4-0 at half time. It was heading possibly for a huge embarrassment at the Etihad. Thankfully we managed to get a couple or three goals in the second half and, you know, make it not as embarrassing as it could have been. But today Manchester United were battered by Manchester City. We were outplayed. We weren't good enough. I think Erik ten Hag got it wrong, his selection, and maybe tactically as well. He would have learned a lot about that coming up against Manchester City, you know, playing in the Premier League, etc. He's still learning, but today I thought he got the selection wrong. We played a 4-3-3. We played a midfield three of McTominay, Eriksen and Bruno, and I thought it left us too exposed, too open, and as a result Manchester City, led in particularly by Erling Haaland, absolutely battered us in that first half. They were scoring goals for fun. Now part of me feels like sitting here and going, you know what, it's only 3-3 because Erling Haaland's goals shouldn't count. That's how ridiculous this guy is. His finishing ability is second to none. His runs are absolutely immaculate. If you look at the run for, I think it was his second goal off the back of Raphael Varane, who maybe could have, should have done better. His movement's incredible. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted to bring him to Manchester United before he joined Dortmund. There was an opportunity there for us to make that happen. The board didn't sanction the move, and we see him eventually end up at Manchester City scoring goals for fun. How it could have been different, eh? But nevertheless, I hate to see it, I hate to say it, but Erling Haaland is a joke. He's a freak of nature. And that's almost how I felt in the first half. Was there were periods last season where we lost against Liverpool quite heavily, we lost against City quite heavily, you know, even against that Brentford game where we lost 4-0, where I'm sitting there thinking, this is horrible. My heart's getting pulled out here. Like, I can't take watching this. But today, weirdly, I thought, look, 1-0 to City, it was poor from Manchester United. We shouldn't have allowed them to get that goal. But it is 1-0 to Manchester City at one point. And then we had a few moments, especially on the break, where if the final ball's right, we have an opportunity. I think Jadon Sancho was poor in the first half, probably could have done a bit better with a few things. And there were a few passes from Bruno and Eriksen where if you get that pass right, we have an opportunity to score. And City were leaving gaps open for us in that first half. But unfortunately, once you go down a goal quite early, you've then got to fight your way back into it. And when Manchester United were trying to do that, City were just picking us off. Absolutely picking us off. And I think the decision to go with that McTominay, Eriksen, Bruno midfield was incorrect. Now, you know, I was saying in my preview, you either start McTominay or Casemiro or both. I felt like Casemiro had to come into the team today. He had to. Now you could argue McTominay don't deserve to get dropped. Do you know what I mean? He don't deserve to get dropped. But play them both then. I just felt playing with Bruno and Eriksen left us a little bit too open in that midfield area, and we got punished for it. We got absolutely punished for it. And it was Christian Eriksen actually who lost Phil Foden for the first goal. He loses his runner, and he's not a natural defender. Do you know what I mean? He's not a natural defender. And then the second goal for Manchester City, it came when Raphael Varane was off the pitch. So Raphael Varane had been defending Erling Haaland up until that point in the game. He was marking him, he was following him all around the park. Raphael Varane went off with an injury. He eventually got subbed, which is a problem possibly for Man United. We brought Lindelof in, Maguire's injured. Even if Maguire was fit, that's a problem. We need Varane and Martinez fit. But Varane went off injured, and when he went off injured, there didn't seem to be anyone that went, yo lads, pick up Erling Haaland. I think it may have been McTominay. I may be wrong in the bit where he was closest to him, and you've got to do something. You have to. We left the most dangerous man free in the box. That comes down to leadership, communication, you know, being able to talk, reacting to Raphael Varane going off the pitch. Maybe Varane's the leader in that defence, and he's the guy that's got to be communicating that, and he's the one who's gone off, so no one's picked up. But those are basics, and you've got to be better with that. And then the third goal comes from that Haaland run on the shoulder of Varane with a great pass from De Bruyne. And the fourth goal was a Foden goal where Christian Eriksen has to stop that. I think Casemiro commits the foul inside City's half. There was a moment where he could bring down Kevin De Bruyne. It's cynical. It's a foul. It's probably a yellow card. But how often do we see City do those tactical fouls? We had to clamp him there because we were pushing up for a goal. They hit us on the counter-attack. Take him out, it doesn't happen. We didn't take him out. He did foul him eventually, but the ball had already gone. And now it's 4-0 to Manchester City. You're sitting there thinking at half-time, this could be 5, 6, 7, 8. But I was also sitting there thinking, Erling Haaland is just ridiculous. I didn't feel like we didn't have... I felt like Ten Hag got his selection wrong. You know what I mean? I would have started Casemiro, maybe drop one of the front three, play Bruno as a false 9. That's possibly what I do. I felt like we could have done better in set, but I never felt disheartened by it. I just felt like we'd come up against a better team with a striker who is absolutely ridiculous. After Ronaldo and Messi, when they were hitting 60 goals a season and all that, we thought there ain't going to be another striker like this. There ain't going to be a goal scorer like this, and I think there might be. And the fact that he's playing for Man City is annoying. Absolutely annoying. So annoying. But 4-0 at half-time. And then, you know, in the second half, it doesn't get any better for Manchester United. I mean, you know, we lose. We concede 3 more goals. Yes, we scored 3, but never in the game, really. Antony, fantastic goal for him. Come from a Christian Eriksen assist, although the goal was a piece of individual brilliance. Fantastic strike from him. I don't think he did anything particularly well in the game apart from that, but that was a fantastic strike from Antony. Then Haaland gets his hat-trick. Phil Foden gets his hat-trick. Manchester United grabbed 2 more goals through Anthony Martial, who came on as a sub. And look, if Anthony Martial starts today, I think our team looks a little bit different. We've got a number 9 who can hold the ball up, who can, you know, bring others into play. But I still feel if we would have played with that midfield, we would have been overrun, because it was ultimately the midfield that didn't protect the defence, and therefore we got battered. And Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish and Phil Foden had the freedom of that space in front of them. And I don't think Christian Eriksen or Bruno have the defensive nous to have played that. That's why I would have started both, you know, Casemiro and Scott McTominay. Anyway, United lose. We did get 2 more goals back, as I said, through Anthony Martial. Some good finishes. One was a fantastic penalty. The other was a good finish from him. Great to have him back. Hopefully now we can move forward. But I'd just get this out. Look, learn from your mistakes. You got the selection wrong, but get this out of your system fast. We've got so many games coming up, and the 4 games in the Premier League prior to this were quite good, although they were patchy. We need to learn how to play over 90 minutes. But we're not going to come up against a striker like Erling Haaland every week, and we're not going to come up against a team like Man City every week. So I wouldn't panic too much. But yeah, there were a few mistakes today by Erik ten Hag that, you know, I don't think he would have made if he knew in hindsight. And we need to get Casemiro fit so he can start a game, because he's clearly not on it. Anyway, Martial's back. Can't wait to see him starting some games for Manchester United. Rashford's back as well. I don't think he particularly had a good game today, but I don't think the midfield was good. We didn't bring the front 3 into it. Sancho was poor, Rashford was poor, Antony, you know, and then the midfield was getting overrun. But battered 6-3. Anyway, coming up next, I think we've got Europa League and then Everton. Hopefully we can bounce back with some more wins and get back on it in the Premier League, because we're still not far off that top 4, and some of the results went our way this weekend. So everything isn't lost, although it was close to being embarrassing there today. Anyway, United lose 6-3. Let us know your thoughts. I'll see you later.